All right, so I want to welcome you guys to our first builders call. I am going to just kind of go through a few expectations of what this call is really all about and just make sure that we are all on the same page. So, really, what a builder or renter call is it's an all-out massive action. And I don't want to put like time on it, meaning, some people might be taking massive action for 3 or 4 hours a day. Some people could be doing it 8 hours a day. Some people could be doing it, you know, an hour a day, depending on where you're at. So I don't want to put any really time frame on it, but I do want to share with you that in order, in my opinion, to really get a result, the first thing we need to do is we have to go back to the very beginning and we have to determine what is making our heart beat in this business. So I'm going to have you guys just write down number one, why are you doing this business? This is what I do with every new team member. And we've kind of all of a sudden come out of the gates building fast. And I haven't had a chance to do it with every single new team member. So I want to make sure that you guys are trained up properly. And I also have an onboarding sheet that I will share. So you probably don't have to remember all this, but let's just take it down for you. So that's really the first thing, because here's what happens when we go into builder mode. There's excitement, there's ups, there's downs, and there's times I'm going to guarantee you in the next 30, 60, or 90 days where you're going to say, why the hell did I say yes to this? And you're also going to find times where you're going to be like, I'm so glad I said yes to this. Does that make sense? And quite honestly, you guys, you may have already felt some of these things, right? It's sort of what I would call, a ride of emotions. It really is. So, I want to make sure that we all are really strong in understanding why we're doing this business and what's going to keep us in the game. So if you already know that, I want you to drop, you don't have to drop what it is, but I want you to drop a one in the comments. If you already know why you're in it and that you are firm about staying in the game. Okay, Laura, Helen. Okay, so, and some of you may be just Deb. All right, so you may be in a place where you definitely know, and some of you, this is something that you can work on over the weekend, even. I like to sit down with a glass of my choice of drink is Arnold Palmer. So I sit down with my Arnold Palmer and I pray first, I just get really clear because clarity is your sister. Clarity is everything when it comes to a business like this. So, first things first, we need to make sure we know what it is that's going to keep us in the game when times get tough and, even when emotions go high. All right? Okay. Second thing we need to know is, what are our goals? Now, I'm going to be sharing a document that I just worked on for you guys, and it's super simple. It's a very simple document, but it starts out with having a daily reach out goal. So, a daily reach out goal. And what that means is that no matter what happens as a builder, as a runner, that I'm not going to deviate from my goal. It's a non-negotiable. Okay. Now, what I found is if I can get in the flow, whether I choose, just pretend, 5 reach outs, 10 reach outs, or 20 reach outs, if I can get in the flow of my own system, my own little kind of, let's just call it your mini funnel, the number at the end of the day doesn't matter as much as you understanding what the number means. Okay. If I reach out to 2 people for the next 30 days, that's 60 people in a given month. Okay. But I did it consistently. And out of 60 people, who can tell me, what do you think the percentage, just an average percentage is of 60 people that people would say yes to me? What'd you say, Cheryl?
Sorry, I was muted. Six,
For you, Joan, I'm going to say 80%.
You,
right?
yeah, well, no. Yeah, it's about 10%. Okay, so it's about 10%. Now, what I believe is some of us have closer relationships with people. And what I've found is when I'm in a closer relationship with somebody that I've worked with in the past or that I've, you know, enjoyed doing life more closely with, they may be more likely to say yes. But we're just talking about the average. Okay. So if I understand that the average is about 10%, then that will probably allow me more room to determine what my reach out goal is. Okay. So I'll share with you what my reach out goal is. My reach out goal, no matter what, before my head hits the pillow, is 10 people a day. Does that mean 10 people are joining my team? No. Does it mean 10 people are going to say yes to looking at the opportunity? No. It means approximately, I'm going to just give you guys what I think is going to, I'll just tell you what's happened with my 10 reach outs. Usually about 3 people are interested to take a closer look. Okay. If people are, oops, my computer, just a second here. If I've got 3 people interested in taking a closer look, interest is where we all started, isn't it? Right? You all got a phone call or somehow you got someone piqued your interest and here you are, right? So again, I want to just make it really clear that once we have interest, then we begin spending our time in places. Okay? So we're not going to spend our time trying to make someone interested, right? This is just really, and this is where the numbers part is a game, right? The numbers part is a game, and the higher the number that you're willing to commit to, the more chances you are in front of you about creating interest. So we're going right back to the very, very beginning. Okay. So I'm going to share screen with you guys and just show you what I've got laid out. Um, and we'll run through this. And then at the end, we'll open it up for questions, and then we'll talk about how we can, hold each other accountable to our own goals, to our dreams. And the third thing that actually, so the first thing's your why, your what. Got to figure out really from that heart-centered place where you're at. Second thing is your goals. You guys also may have a goal to reach silver or gold. And I may actually have Laura share. Laura was just on the company call, getting some stats. So Laura, I may have you share when you get a minute, a few of the stats. The company's growing really fast. And I think these stats are very interesting as well. Um, and then you've got your reach out, your daily goal. And then the third thing is your time commitment. So I know that many of you have other things going on. You have other priorities, whether it's another job, whether it's other, businesses in network marketing. But how much time are you willing to commit to this? And I'm just going to encourage you to set some office hours with this business. I think it will really benefit you in a big way because I see people, I've been one of those people that have worked in the cracks and crevices of days. And at the end of the day, you often feel like you never get anything done like that well because you're spread thin and you're kind of doing a little here and a little here and a little there. So I'm going to encourage you to set a schedule. So those are the first three things I want to go over. I'm also going to share a sheet, and I'll do that in a moment with those things laid out. But now I want to share just a simple flow. And you guys, I mean, again, some of this may be review to some of you, some of it maybe is not. Okay, let me actually give me just 1 minute here. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to also make sure that this goes over to you guys. Okay, so here we are, establish your goal. So I want everybody right now just to take a minute and establish that goal. What is it? You're going to do 5, 10, 20 reach outs per day. And you can adjust it based on the rank or your season in life, but these are new touches designed to create curiosity. When you're doing your reach outs, you're already going to see some little pointers in here. Don't over explain. Your goal is only to get them to say yes to hopping on a call with you. Okay. So once you get the immediate people that you're closest to off your list, then your next immediate goal would be to have them watch a video. All right. And then get on a call with you. But people that I know, like Tracy, I'm going to take Tracy Rogers. I didn't tell her watch the video first and then we're going to get on a call. I said, hey, Trace, you got a few minutes? I want to chat with you. And I probably said something along these lines of text examples that I'm sharing with you guys. So here's some examples. I want you to see this. Maybe it's been a minute. I'm always about stating the obvious so people don't, you don't start talking back and forth about just nothing. And then, 20 messages later, you're like, oh, by the way, I have this business opportunity. I think it's really important to state the obvious. Maybe you haven't talked to him for a while. Maybe you talked to him last week. All right. How are you? And then I've just got here. Listen, I partnered with a new company. I feel like this is a unique opportunity that I thought might interest you. I haven't seen anything like it in our channel. Are you open to taking a peek? Okay, that's one example. Okay, another one might be, hey, how the heck are you? Listen, I know we haven't chatted in a while, and this is probably a little out of the blue. So I partnered with a new company. I haven't seen anything like this in our channel. Before I go public, I'm positioning leaders and wanted to see if you're open to hearing more. Okay. Or there's a third option. Hey, lady, I have some really exciting news. I partnered with a new company. It's different from anything that I've ever done before. If you're open to hearing more, I have some time later today or tomorrow to have a quick chat. So any one of these, again, you guys can adjust them. I think the main thing is just to see that I like to share with people that I partnered with a new company. I'm going to share just a little bit, like it's a unique opportunity. You could say something like, you can change this part to make yourself feel more comfortable, depending on what you want to say. But the point is that you want to just, you know, get a quick response if they're open to hearing more by creating curiosity. Okay. Are you guys with me? Any questions there? Okay, does that feel good to you guys or help you out?
Joan, I love that. I have a question and I'm sorry if I missed it.
Yeah.
Um, you're going to email us this document that you're showing us right now because it's fire.
I'm going to put it in the
Boards.
yeah. I'm gonna get it. Oh my God. I'm gonna get it to you guys. Oh boy.
You're
I,
gonna get it to us on boards. I
yeah,
get it.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna either, yeah, I'll either put it in the team chat or whatever. Yeah.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
It's not anything that I don't want to share with anyone, obviously. All right. Um, so let's hear from you guys. I gotta get some, let me stop just for a minute. I have to get a little more drink in my cup. But what I would love to do is let's hear from someone here that has felt good maybe about their initial reach out message that's short and sweet. Does anyone want to share it? Maybe you could read yours and then you could also drop yours in the chat as well. Let me just get some more.
I'll go because mine's easy. So now I have more tools, obviously. But hey, what do you think about my hat, you guys? Pretty snazzy. Um, but I'm just being over enthusiastic. So Rob Spur used to tell me, like, and tell all his masterminds, facts tell, stories sell. People with enthusiasm will get for a lot further than people that just sound monotone. So I'm just really, and for those of you on this call that I called, I told you, I said, look, I don't get it, but I get it. And I just need you to jump on a Zoom or jump on a call with me. And so I love that Joan has this tool, and I'll be putting some of that. But what I want to say is, please don't wait till you feel like you're ready. Please don't wait till you feel like you've got all the verbiage and you're comfortable with it, right? Like enthusiasm is it, you guys. People don't want to miss out on on something that somebody's really excited and enthusiastic about. So I promise you, I didn't have this great verbiage, and I just literally was going, I don't get it, but I get it, and you got to hear about it. And I'm not gonna, I'm not taking no. Some people, like the ones in this call, I literally said, you need to hear about this. Whether you say yes or no is fine, but make an educated decision. How can you say no to something you don't know about? Get on the call and let's talk afterwards. I think you can be a lot bolder with people that like Joan was saying, and it's okay to do that. But thank you, Joan, for this verbiage. But I guess I'm sharing this because I didn't know what to say. I still didn't even hadn't figured anything out at all. But what I did know is that I believed in Joan and I saw other people doing it that were successful. And so I knew that if I could get them on a call or a three-way chat with her or a Zoom, I knew that I had better chances of them getting it. And so I just wanted to share, please don't wait till you feel like you're completely confident with all the verbiage. Just be enthusiastic, because you know what? That trumps it every time. That's all I got.
Yeah. No, I think that's really good. And you guys will see in just a second about the story part. Laura, do you want to share anything? I know you've got some short, sweet, up to you.
Yeah, no, I think the main thing is the enthusiasm. And I just always, like, I'm thinking in particular, I'd called one leader and I was pretty nervous about calling her, and then I found myself like rambling, because I was just like, and I just said it. I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't have this whole thing figured out yet. I'm just super excited. I know I'm rambling. I'm going to shut up now. Will you take a look? And that was basically kind of how that one went. And because I mean, nerves, I mean, maybe y'all don't, but there's certain people that I feel more confident reaching out to. And then there's other ones that, of course, the nerves start getting me. And when my nerves, kick in, I tend to start rambling. So, yeah, I just state the obvious, just like you say, Joan. And I mean, the bottom line is you just have to pick up the phone and call. I mean, or, it's
guys.
just doing it. But the
Yeah.
more you do it, the easier it gets.
Mm-hmm.
That's for true. And I think that's the whole reason why I want to share this with you guys is because
Mm-hmm.
it's a framework. You can adjust it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say the same thing every time. Quite honestly, I was going back through all the different messages. It really is dependent on who it is and how I kind of talk to them. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so let me go back here. So these are just little ways to basically get somebody on the phone. Okay. So the next thing, which is so important, is your follow through from here. So, in my opinion, guys, you got to get real organized, meaning don't just leave everything on scratch paper. Maybe you've got a binder that you're doing it in. Maybe you do it online, whatever. But when you've sent messages to people, put their names down. And so you know, because you'll get lost in the DMs, and you'll forget. I've already done that with a couple people that didn't get on my list. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So if it's happened to me, it's going to happen to you guys. So get organized. All right, follow through. So this is really important. Now that you've got somebody that has interest, confirm a time to chat by giving them two options. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people doing is they leave this loose. Okay, Cheryl, you know what? Yeah, we can chat tomorrow. Sounds good. And then, either I forget or she's in my energy space is the way I like to call it, or I'm like, oh geez, I didn't do a time, or wonder when I should call her, morning or afternoon. So always just give two options. Hey, I can talk to you. And every option that I give people is with urgency. Hey, can you hop on the phone right now? Or I have a little more time later this afternoon. Okay, it's becoming this afternoon now. So I might say, hey, I've got a little bit of time right now. Or I could do it later this evening. You tell me what's best for you. Always going to hear those words out of my mouth. I've been doing it for years. You tell me what's best for you is always there. Okay, the call framework. So now I get them on the call. And Laura just said that sometimes the best of us, like we can get nervous and overshare. So 2 to 3 minutes of small talk. And I usually say something like, hey, Laura, before we dive into business, catch me up on how things are going. I just want them to feel comfortable to tell me a little bit about life. But notice I said before we dive into business, because the person knows that they're taking a peek or you're talking about this business. So we're not lowering the boom or anything like that. But I want to do a couple minutes of small talk. And then transitioning from there, I'm like, great. You know what? I'm so glad you shared that, with me about your kid, whatever it is. Okay. It's good to catch up a minute. Okay. Listen, now what I'm really calling about is, about a month ago, I'd been watching this business, blah, 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 blah. Now, did you hear what Tracy mentioned? Stories sell. It's your story. So share what made you join and ask questions about them and where they are. So it's always your story. I got a call from Tracy. My friend Laura reached out to me. Cammie gave me a call one night when I was at my kid's soccer game and shared blah, 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 blah. So every one of you has some kind of story that made you say yes to this opportunity and what excites you most. Now is your time to share that. Okay. The next thing I wanted to share is from there, when they go, yeah, you know what? Gosh, this does interest me, or, sounds kind of good. I'd say, okay, listen, I can send you a video that you can take a peek at and watch, or we've got a live overview tonight at 5. Okay, so in my opinion, either one is great. If it's the afternoon, I'm going to try and drive them to the live overview, but don't wait. Don't wait. So don't hesitate to use the video. Many companies don't even do live overviews. All right. So the live overview is great, but if they can't get to it, don't wait, or vice versa. Maybe you already know that, maybe it's 8 a.m. in the morning and you're going to just share the video because you don't want to wait that long, right? So it's kind of up to you how you want to position it, but I just wrote life overview. That would not be true. It would be our live overview. Okay. Now, again, really, really important. Once they've watched the overview, okay, you may want to hop back on a Zoom with them and uncover what is most exciting. You might want to give them a quick call. Okay, what I try to find out is, where are we here? Is, are they going to, uh, like, I kind of like to find out when they're going to watch it. So I might say something like, right down here is a tip. So let's say they say, yeah, I'd like to watch it. Awesome. Do you think you'll have some time today or tonight to watch it? Either way is all good. I just want to get a time to circle back with you and see what you think. Okay. So prompt this. This is so important. Otherwise, you'll stall the momentum. Does anybody notice that that happens? The momentum stalls? Yeah. That's what happens. So as leaders, as builders, as drivers of the business, we don't want the momentum to stall. And trust me on this, you guys. If somebody does not want to stay in step with you, in other words, if I say to Whitney, hey, do you think you'll have time a little bit later today or this evening to watch the video? If Whitney's kind of lukewarm about even watching it or whatever, she might say something like, oh gosh, Joan, I've got so much going on. You know what? I'll probably watch it tomorrow. Doesn't matter what she tells me. I'm still going to say, great. Let's set a time so I can answer questions and see what you think about the video. Okay. So I'm always trying to get that momentum and that speed going, so that I can have a conversation with her. And for me, you guys, I will not do any conversation with pretty much anybody unless it's set at a time. Do you guys realize why that is?
You want a commitment.
I want a commitment. I want them to see me treat it like a business. I want to value their time. Like literally, I had someone here just a little while ago. I'm talking to them. I'm doing two things. I feel, yeah, I just had to apologize, right? I don't want to be like that when somebody's checking out my new business, right? So I want to basically give them my attention and that courtesy of having a set time for them. And you can just set it for, half-hour increments. And when you get on the call, make sure you say that. Hey, I've got about 15 minutes. I mean, whatever you think you need, I've got about 20 minutes. So let's cover some things quickly. State the obvious. Okay. All right, let's go back here. So, let's see here. Set an urgent follow-up time. Okay, then I've got here three-way chats. Now, some of you guys know how to use three-way chats as leverage. Some of you are just learning. But here's what I want to say about three-way chats. They're very good for people that are not quite there yet, or you need additional support or edification in a sense. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is, like, Tracy just popped me in a three-way chat with somebody that wanted more information. They needed to have a little bit more of their questions answered. And I know Tracy could have answered their questions, but she brought me in because I know the person, right? So when you're putting someone in a three-way chat, basically you can call Megan or I or whomever it is that you're putting in a three-way chat, your business partners. You can call us your mentors. You can call us your friends. Okay. I want to introduce you to a few of my friends, whatever it is. And then you tell a little bit about the person that you're adding to the chat. So I might say, like, I want you to meet Joan and Megan. Joan and Megan, this is Laura. I've known Laura for, since we were childhood friends. We've been in business together, and Laura's most interested in learning how to make money fast, or Laura's most interested in, the travel rewards and benefits. learning more about that. Okay, so what it does is it gives the people in the three-way chat a little space to know how to speak to the person in what interests them the most. And what I want to say also about that is if there's no information in a three-way chat, typically I say something like, nice to meet you, Laura. I would love to know a little more about you, and I'll just share how I got started, you know, with this company, or I'll share a little bit more about my story. So it like gives Laura a little something more to hang on to. All right, Helen, question.
Yeah, Joan, when you all are saying three-way chats, you mean a phone call, right?
Uh,
You're talking about a phone call, not
yeah,
texting type of things like
no, a
message.
three-way, yeah, a three-way chat would be that you would put them in Messenger with Megan, myself, with Tracy or me, or you, and you don't have to ask us, guys. We just automatically will know to pop in there. We've been using the let's see, if you want to name the chat, we've been using, I got to make sure here what it is we've been using. I believe it's yeah, we've been using this little guy for the chats. So you guys could name your chats and use the rocket ship emoji.
Okay.
Okay. Just that way it just doesn't get lost. All right. Whitney, do you have any additional tips you want to give on a three-way chat? Whitney's a pro, guys. So there's a lot of you on here that are very pro-ish. Whitney is one of them. If you've got a little something to share there, cutie.
I just think the biggest thing is don't tell them too much about it. Like, I think you can overshare what a three-way chat is, and then they get in their head, like, who am I meeting? Whatever, I
Yeah.
just really throw them in and introduce them and edify them, like Joan said, and introduce them a little bit, tell a little bit about Joan, and then, do something like exciting. Like, she's excited about this because
Yeah.
she wants to travel to Greece or something like that.
Yeah.
And then just kind of take it from there. I don't know much about this at all. In fact, I haven't even logged into stuff because my husband signed up, but just the excitement, like Tracy said, and like utilizing the three-way chats, utilizing the opportunities, like that's where it's at. Just do the action items.
Yeah. I love that you shared that. And guys, Whitney said something that's so important. Is you don't ask somebody to go into a three-way chat. You just say like, hey, Deb, I'm going to pop you in a three-way chat with a few of my mentors or with a few of my friends or a few of my business partners. And by now you're probably tired of hearing from me. So I want to introduce you to a few more people that are loving it over here. Something just like that.
And then you immediately do it.
You do it.
Like,
Yeah.
don't wait for their response.
Yeah, you do it. Because mostly, guys, the truth is just like Helen, they kind of are like, what's a three-way chat? You know what I mean? They don't know unless they've been in one. So it's just your place to give it's for you to have additional support with somebody that's either on the edge or needs a little bit more of their questions answered. And that's where you bring in uh, us to support you there. Okay. So let's go back here to the sheet. Okay. So when we're asking for the decision, I think I like to say, what'd you like best about the video? What spoke to you? Um, you know, what type of I don't do that. I put some of this in Chat GPT, so let me just get rid of that because that's kind of weird. I wouldn't do what kind of membership at this point. But anyway, I think it's just best to just get them talking about what they liked best about the video. And my questions are always like this. You tell me, where would you like to go from here? Okay, so I'm just, again, keeping the conversation moving forward. And people will tell you. And then No matter what they say, you guys, unless it's like, oh God, Joan, I could never do this. I hate to travel. Wild horses couldn't keep me from, doing something like this or whatever, then I'm usually going to follow up with them again. Do you want me to put you on my list and check back with you? Because I know right now the timing isn't right. Yeah, that'd be great. When are you thinking? Beginning of October, mid-October? You tell me. Okay, so then I've got an additional time to chat, or it's a no, close the door, and I cross them off the list. All right. So enroll and duplicate. Again, I will just tell you guys that for me, I often will get on with someone to help them out. I will. It's going to be up to you. You can send your link. I mean, people do that. If you do send your link, give a little voice message and explain kind of how that process works. Hey, so depending on what you decided, whether you're going to do the Elite Turbo or whether you're going to do the Elite, the first thing you'll want to do is click that box, the $99 box, and then, click continue. You'll be able to get in there. If you're going to do Elite, click Elite, or you can click both Elite and Elite Turbo. If you get stuck anywhere, Laura, feel free. I'm right here. Just reach out, because it is a little bit, it is new to you and there are a few things in there that can get a little touchy. Okay. So what I want to do now is open it up for questions, because some of you might be having questions. I'm going to share that document so you'll have it, but that really is a flow. Now that is for people, you guys, that we know pretty well. People that I don't know that well that raise their hand and want a little more information, I'm not going to get on the phone with them until they watch the video. Okay? These are just like my good friends or people that I've done business with. Initially, I want to have a conversation with them. But if I don't know them that well, or they're more acquaintances, why would I want to make sure they watch the video first? Who knows the answer to that?
Just so you're not wasting your time if they're not, really interested.
There you go. We all have limited time here, right? And so if it's somebody that, you know, they've shown some interest, but they're not willing to watch the video, right? Then I'm just going to keep circling back until they tell me either they're not going to watch it, or now they've watched it, then we'll get on a call or a chat. We'll have a chat about it. I do know that some people, I think there's someone on here, I won't say who, I think they signed up just immediately. They didn't even want to watch the thing yet. There are people that do that. But if you have a flow, you're just going to feel that much more confident. And what I have found is it doesn't matter who it is, you have to have some kind of flow to feel confident. Otherwise, it's like, I'm not gonna, I don't want to start yet, or you'll put it off to tomorrow or whatever that is, right? So, um, what other questions or comments do you guys have?
I have a question.
Yeah, Cami.
Hi, so I did share the video with many people, but my fault was I didn't get a good follow-up on it. So now I need to go back and follow up.
Okay.
So, what would be the best way to segue into the follow-up? And would it be immediately go to the messenger after I speak with them and then put them on a three-way chat?
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. And we've all been there. Like literally, you guys, I had somebody that I know pretty well that I was like, oh yeah, I'll circle back. And frickin' I never circled back. It happens. So don't get hard on yourself. And again, just go back into the chat. Remember, each person only knows their experience with you. So if that happened 5 or 6 times, let it go, because right now you're circling back. Just say, hey, I know it's been a minute since we originally chatted. and I'm circling back. I would love to answer any questions that you might have, or pop on a call. You tell me what's best for you. So I just say, hey, or I just say, hey, it's been a minute. Sorry about that. Just be honest.
Mhm.
People are busy too, you guys. And I know that's why I put so much urgency when I'm talking to somebody, because I just want to get through the process. I don't rush them. I don't want you to think I rush someone that needs time, but I just mean I stay in step with them to keep the momentum going. And at the end of the day, if somebody is truly interested, okay, if they're truly interested, even if there is some time in between, you're not messing it up. This is something someone told me a long time ago. A good idea will continue to be a good idea. So just keep that in mind, right? I just think the key is that each person here feels really comfortable about how you do that initial invite. The initial invite is very key. Tracy.
And I was going to say too, Cami, and I'm sitting here on my list going, ooh, I forgot to follow up with these people. It's been 7 days, whatever. And we get to feeling guilty about that and get to thinking like, oh, I dropped the ball. Is it going to sound weird? Are they going to think, why did you take so long? But the reality is they're not thinking about this. So 7 days to them with you not circling back, they're they're not going, well, it's been 7 days. Because we're busy. And
Yeah.
like even for me, I'm going, oh my gosh, I thought I just reached out to her. It's been 7 days or 8 days. But they're not sitting there thinking because we're in that business mind of circling back. And it can always look like you're not desperate for a new person on this team. You're not desperate. You're just literally, hey, you know what? Circling back today. How's it going? And so, two things to keep in mind. We're feeling kind of weird because we feel like we should have followed up sooner, but they're not thinking that. They're
No.
not thinking that. So, I mean, does that make sense? I see Deb over there nodding her head, but yeah. So just don't even pretend it was 2 weeks. I love the circling back, and it just makes them feel like, oh, she's not trying to shove it down my throat, reaching out to me every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
She waited a bit, so it's okay. Just pick it up from where you're at, and it's all good.
Yeah. And you
But
guys, the other thing too, like when that happens, again, just give yourself some grace too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give yourself some grace too. But if you follow what I just shared, these notes, you won't find yourself
Mm-hmm.
as much in that situation because you'll have a time of when they want you to follow up. I just offer what's the next best time. I look at my schedule. Do I have time this afternoon or this evening? And then that's my next time. And then, see, again, you guys, my schedule is my discipline. Does that make sense? If
Yeah.
I'm scheduling when I'm following up, and it doesn't mean I'm sending them a calendar invite for God's sakes. I'm just doing it for my own benefit and for theirs so they know. People, if you just do this, I want to share with you this. If you say something like, okay, you just let me know when you're done watching it, you've given away your power. And you have to stay in the power in your personal power to continue to move the conversation forward with momentum. You don't want to let them be the ones that are running the timing of your call, but you allow them choices and see people never argue with what they choose. Does that make sense?
Mm.
When I give you a time, if I say I'm going to be able to be on this call at 1 o'clock today Pacific, right? It's because I chose it, you know? All right. Any other questions before oh yeah, Laura, pardon me, sorry.
So okay, so I already told you I messed up, like I was doing the day to follow up instead of a specific time. So how many times do you continue to go back to the same person that's expressed interest. Like I have one lady that expressed interest. Yes, she would watch it, and just life happens. Had followed up. Then she saw my live, and she came back and said she wanted to see it. But it's like every time I follow up, I'm getting crickets back. And
Well, I
many
mean,
times.
yeah. So I just would tell him, hey, gosh, you know what? I don't want to be a ball and chain. I feel like I've come back to you like 3 or 4 times. So you tell me
Okay.
when is best for you? Because I certainly don't want to bug you. I just want to be efficient and helpful to you.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just saw Deb wrote in the chat, sometimes they forget what they choose. You know what? If I notice that somebody's like, forgetful or whatever, I'll give them like a 10-minute text reminder. Hey, I know we're talking in about 10 minutes. I just wanted to say, looking forward to it or something like that. You can always do that. Yep. And then I remind them when we get on the Zoom or on the phone call, right? I'm like, hey, Trace, I know that you wanted me to call you, at 10 today. And so here I am. Let's chat. What's happening, sister? That's me, right? I'm just myself. And, I just want you guys to realize that people appreciate good follow-up. They don't get it. I'm telling you. They don't get it. Not as a general. They don't. Because people do things like, well, let me know. Do you know there's 2 people on this call right here who were invited by other people that never got back to them? I'm looking at them right now. Okay. So what does that tell you? Follow through until the person says, this is not right for me ever again. Don't bug me about it or whatever, even if it's your best friend. You know, but I always put them, you know what? You tell me. Okay. Megan uses another verbiage that I really like too, which is, you know what does she say? Something like, you know, if you want, I can take you off the list or I can cross you off the list. So you can also say something like, gosh, you know what? I know we were supposed to talk today at 1 o'clock, and if something has changed, all good. I just wasn't sure and am wondering, are you still at the same place or do you want me just to cross you off the list? Now, think if you got that message, but you really were interested. You guys with me? What would you do? Wait. I don't want to get crossed off the list. You see? Okay. So the whole goal of the invite is what? Who can tell me? What's the goal of the invite? To get them what?
On a call or
Yeah, the goal of the invite is to pique enough curiosity that they want to hear more. And again, if it's someone you know really well, you get them on a call. If it's somebody that you're just, in acquaintance with, then I would suggest that the goal of the invite is to get them to agree to watch a presentation, right? So it's either way. After someone's watched the presentation, though, I'm getting on a call with them no matter what the cost, because I want to have a discussion. I want to have a chat. I want to know them more. Okay. All right, guys. I will make sure that this gets into the chat and any other questions before we hang up? Yeah, Tracy.
I created a lead list a long time ago that really helped me to keep track of who I've talked to, when I'm supposed to follow up, all the actions, blah 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 blah. But I didn't create it. So I could send it to somebody. It's in it. Is there a thing called Excel? There's something or excellent. I don't know anyway, but I can send it to somebody And all we got to do is take off the logo from the last company that I did training for. And then
Let's see.
if anybody, but I'm kind of talking to people on my team because they know how non-technical I am. But it's a really great lead. I just keep it in a little cheap binder I got at the dollar store, and I just put the December, January through December tabs in it. But it's a really great way for where did I meet him? What did we
Can
talk
you
about?
just, Tracy, can you just share it in the team chat?
Hey, Tracy,
Yeah.
send it to me and I'll have Tim take care of it for us.
Okay, I'll do that, and then I'll put it in
Because
the
he's
chat.
a whiz at, he's
Okay.
a Excel spreadsheet type of guy. Yeah.
I love
Okay.
my Trello board.
I don't even
Oh,
know what a
Trello.
Trello is.
Everybody's going to have a different way of
Right.
doing their
Mhm.
follow-up. And I think it's most important that everybody's comfortable. Like you said, Cheryl likes Trello, Tracy, you like your whatever.
And I know a
Mhm.
lot of people do like to have something physical. So if you
Yeah.
want to use it, great. If not, use Jello or whatever Jellos,
Trello.
Trellos, whatever she's talking about.
Okay. All right, you guys.
Joan, you're the
Okay.
best.
I will drop this in. And so our next team meeting will be at 9 a.m. Tuesday, right? We have tonight, 5 p.m. So I would venture to say drive people to our 5 p.m. tonight live overview. And we've got that tomorrow and Thursday. We also then next Tuesday we'll do this builder call again. And what I see the builder call really, being is something where we can just do a 30-minute call. It's more like accountability. And maybe we'll do like, here's a quick tip that I've learned. But we're just coming in here and being accountable to our activity. And I took a picture so I see all the people that are on here, so I won't feel awkward to say to you, what's your goal?
Okay.
All right. And I think that's it for now, guys. Anything else you can think of? Megan, anything you wanted to add?
We're gonna hang up.
All right, you guys have a
No,
beautiful, oh, there we go.
sorry, it was taking a while to unmute. No, thank you. Good job,
Okay.
everyone. Thanks, Joan. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.